Everyone, after we've just done the pack opening recently, so we thought we'd have a look at and bought the new expansion, the Audiopocalypse. So we'll have a look at the Hearthstone restart required. Okay, fine. So we'll just leave that for later. Right. I'm not sure if you can actually see that. No, you can't see it anyway. Well, for once, deck tracker not working is a good thing. Right. So let's have a look at these new cards, the new expansion. The new cards. Okay. So wow. Okay, some really interesting ones. Oh, we just picked that up from a pack. Right. So let's start with Death Knight. See if we can rate these cards and come up with any different new ideas for different decks. Okay, so enemy minions cost 5 more next turn. That sounds really powerful. That can really disrupt some decks. But then again, most decks have got spells. Warlock's got hero power it can do instead, I guess. Got potential to fit in some control decks, maybe, or something like that. I think making spells cost 5 more is much more useful because if you want to preserve a strong board or something like that, you put everything down and you block any spells coming down the next turn, because spells are usually the things which can fight back overboard. This only slows down your opponent's development. Okay, so that's not an immediate inclusion. Destroy your undead. Resummon them? My goodness. That sounds a bit crazy. But it's got a condition. It's frost and unholy. So this can't go... What if this can go into sort of like an undead priest type package? We're just focusing on the death rattles more. Interesting. Alright. Yeah, but plenty of death rattles in Death Knight, so that could be good. Divine Shield Reborn. Well, that works very nicely with this one. And trigger friendly minions death rattle twice. This could actually work with Cagehead, actually. There's a lot of support for Cagehead, I think, here. Let's have a look. So you've already got Death Growl for Death Rattle minions. Okay, you've got these bog standard Death Rattles. Right. Got a decent Death Rattle here. We've got another Death Rattle card here. My goodness, this is interesting. And then you got Cagehead. Interesting. So I think there might be a way of making a Cagehead deck work, or Death Rattle Death Knight. I really think that is a possibility now. Alright, okay, let's go back to new. Right, okay. So that's those cards done. Let's look at Demon Hunter. So you've got an interesting one here. It costs 2 less for each weapon you've equipped this game. This is a warrior card as well. Not sure what to make of that. Sounds very good, especially Demon Hunter. Especially with the Demon Hunter card, which equips a weapon once you've discarded a weapon. It equips you with a second one. Just put that minion down when you're finishing using a weapon. You automatically get a second weapon. That makes this cost 3. So maybe a weapon Demon Hunter. I don't see enough support for it though. Okay, let's have a look. We've got another Outcast card. Return a minion to its owner's hand. That could be your own minion as well. Interesting. But also probably you want to use it on your opponents. Now, I don't think people run this in the decks, even Outcast Demon Hunter. but you could pick it up through the cards which generate outcast cards. I think this would be quite useful in certain circumstances. Give a minion rush and 1/1. That could work with the rush legendary, which buffs everything up. You can actually put this on what's it called? Oh dear, I'm messing this up. Let's, instead of doing that, let's just do. Alright, let's take away the key with new then. Right. Yeah. So with Lady Steno, you could put this new card on it, and that would immediately make her have 3 attack and attack for 3 straight away. And if you've got a few other cheap cards which you could get from relics, maybe you could do some sort of a OTK with this. I don't know. Sounds possible. Alright, what else do we have here? After your hero attacks, return this to your hand and set its cost to 1. Sounds impressive, but yeah, I can't see this working. Well, just for 3/5 rush, you got to spend 5 mana to start off with, and then you can constantly sort of use it to get rid of smaller minions, I guess. So sort of like a 1 mana deal 3 damage, which the classes which can do that already. It's just, I think it's just a bad card. It's just a bad card. I can't see that seeing any play. Besides the fact that it's a rush minion, you could put this back in hand to combo with the rush, the other rush legendary, which gives 1 attack to all your minions every time a rush minion attacks. So that could see play actually. So you play this out, then you got it in your hand for 1. Then you basically you play what's that? What's that 2 mana spell called? The one where you attack twice, multi-strike, or even the legendary spell, going down swinging. So you attack with this. Oh no, but it's going to do all the attacks in one go, so you won't get a chance to replay this. Yeah, it's got possibilities, but it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be hard to get a deck based on it. Okay, let's go back to the rest of the cards. 3 damage to all minions, gains an extra effect in the hand that changes each turn. Okay. Possible. Could be good. Don't know what those effects are exactly. Here's the card I was talking about. Rush minions that could combine with this for 1. Again, you've got to attack each time with your weapon, so multi-strike you get 2 attacks, I guess. Yeah, and this demon could be decent if you're equipping more than 1 weapon. I mean, taunt lifesteal for 4/7, that could cost 0 or 1 quite easily. That's really good value. But of course, you're going to have the deck built around it. Okay, funnel cake, a priest, druid, dual class card. Okay, restore 3 health to a minion and its neighbors. Okay, that sounds decent. That's actually pretty good. Okay, in itself, so there is a 1 mana heal for 3 cards, so this is an improvement of that. Of course, it can't go to the face, your face, or the opponent's face if you want to heal it for whatever reason. For each one overhealed, refresh a mana crystal. So this is sort of... So if you can do this for 3 minions, you can refresh 3 mana crystals for 1. So that's like the old innovate, kind of. where you can just gain 2 mana crystals out of nowhere, plus you've got the benefit of healing, but the downside is that you can only get this effect if you're going to heal, so I can't see this seeing play unless it's part of maybe a combo, maybe it can help you get that extra mana in an Inubrakan turn, possibly. Okay, refresh your hero power, or your next one costs 0. That could be really good with Inubrakan. And set it up the turn before you want to play your Inubrakan. You can play your plating, which will get you 4 armor, which for the next turn. Plus you use hero power, so you get another 5, so you're guaranteed a 0. For 0, you've got 9 armor straight away. Wow. I mean, a Inubrakan that's 4 armor. That's extra 5 armor, so it gives you 14. That's enough to play. That's enough to play. It's almost enough to play Jailer and Tony. So that's interesting. There's a possibility there of destroying your opponent's deck. Give a friendly minion 2 attack, rush, or 2 health and lifesteal. Ooh. Okay, the 2 health and lifesteal doesn't really quite make sense. Because you're not helping the lifesteal by giving health. Maybe helping it stay ahead. Yes, stay alive maybe, so it can do what it's already got a lot of attack damage. Yeah, I can see possibilities with that. That's a decent card. But would you include it in your deck? You've got so many powerful cards which you want to squeeze into decks nowadays. I can't see it. That's an interesting one. Take one of your opponent's empty mana crystals. It costs 6 mana. Let's say you play this on turn 6. The next turn you're going to have 8 mana. Your opponent's going to have 6 mana. Interesting. 6 mana to do all that. I mean, Nourish gets you a 2 mana advantage, but doesn't give you a body. Playing mana Nourish in turn 5 gives you 8 mana next turn, and the opponent has 6 mana the following turn, which is the same as this played on turn 6. So this is basically like a Nourish. This is like a Nourish, but you get a body. Alright, I guess that kind of works. If you think of it like that. Yeah. Could be like a Nourish, and also it could mess up your opponent as well, because he doesn't expect to lose mana. Okay. Cost health instead of mana. My goodness, what's going on? A Druid Warlock. Oh, I'm not even going to comment on that. That looks terrible. Cost 5. Alright, maybe there's some sort of synergy I'm missing here. Okay, let's go on to Hunter. At the end of your turn, draw a secret. So nothing too amazing so far on any of the cards. End of your turn, draw a secret. 1 mana, draw a secret. Or you could play the secret straight away next turn. That sounds pretty good. It's a nice little card there if you've got it on turn 1. Otherwise, I can't see this being any good. And oh, it's for Mage as well. Yeah, I could see this seeing play. When your opponent ends their turn with no mana, summon a random 3-cost minion. So that's a really nice turn 1 into turn 2 play. You play this turn 1, play this in turn 2. Your opponent's always going to be playing 2 mana on turn 2 in almost all decks now. And yeah, that's why the rogue is so good, which draws 2 cards if they use up all the mana. This is a bit different from the rogue one because you can get past it with Druid by playing a coin, or the opponent plays a coin or something. You can bypass this, but why would you want to use your coin? So it's slightly different from the mechanics of the rogue card. And you get a 3-cost minion automatically without your opponent having to attack your face like the old secret. Can't remember which expansion it was from. It's like maybe from the Angora expansion or something. Wandering Stranger might be a regular secret. Can't remember. Yeah, decent. Very good secret this. If you control no minions, discover and cast a secret. That's actually a really good soloist. If you're playing this, then you play this turn 2, then play this turn 3, where this is probably dead already. So you can either kill this and activate the solo effect here, or you can leave this alive and you just keep drawing secrets. Wow. So a lot of nice little synergies there. Okay, star power. Deal 5 damage to a random enemy minion. Repeat this with 1 less damage. So this does 5 damage then 4 damage. Too expensive. No question. Way too expensive. Oh, and of course, this is Yelling Yodeler. Can really... We know Hunter's got a lot of death rattles. What death rattles does it have at the moment? Let's have a look at death rattles for Hunter. Okay. Nothing too special. Alright, that's a shame. I mean, this could... Sunken Saber. You could trigger the death rattle of Sunken Saber, which puts 2 minions in your deck onto the battlefield. So there could be 2 King Crushers with this, actually. And maybe you can do this twice if you have 12 mana somehow. No, but I think Sunken Saber is summon a beast from day. It's not a copy, right? Yeah. Okay, so you could get quite a lot of value from this. This could work very well with the Big Beast Hunter. Very similar to I can't remember what it was called. It was... Was it here? It was before that. It was a long time before this. It was around here. Where is it? Is it earlier than this? We're looking for Hunter only here. Ngora. Oh, right, I didn't have it up. Okay, so Ngora. It was around here. Here we go. Katharina Winter Wisp. Battle Cry and Death Rattle Recruit a Beast. So now basically with this new card, you can recruit a beast with this. Interesting. So essentially doing that just for much cheaper. No, but yeah, this could, yeah, I think this is very good. I think you could have a big beast sort of deck now, just because of that card. All right, let's move on. Okay, so we've done all this. Okay, some potential with the death rattles with a Hunter and Death Knight at the moment. Nothing new in Demon Hunter, I think. Besides a potential Lady Stenoth combo. I can't pronounce these words. Okay, Fiddlefire Imp, Mage and Warlock card. Add a random Fire Mage or Fire and Fire Warlock spell to your hand. That's pretty good. Okay, we'll have to see what sort of fire spells there are. Okay, we'll think about that. Play an extra effect in your hand that changes each turn. I think one of them is a freeze effect. Yeah, it's probably worth running in, definitely in a mech mage. Maybe make mech mage a bit more nuanced as opposed to just blindly playing mechs for the stats. Summon a copy of each minion of a minion. Each one dies after taking damage. Summon a copy of a minion. Each one dies after taking damage. So basically, you want to put this on the deathrattle, I guess. So after each one, I think it's a bit expensive. Unless it's a good minion you want to die after taking damage. That's really strange. I can't work out what the point of that is. If you've got a good deathrattle and you want them both to die very quickly, fine. But both minions are going to die, even the original one. That's how I'm reading this. Just looks like a bad card. I guess they're giving people creative possibilities there. Paladin, give your minions rush. That's pretty good. That's like a broomstick, which we had from Skullman's Academy, I think it was, which gives all your minions rush, and that was a really powerful card. And this is a location. Is this a location? What is this? Is this? It looks like a location. What's the idea of the 2 armor? Oh, sorry, that's the number of charges. That's really powerful. That kind of makes Lady what's her name a bit useless now. You can give everything a charge. Alright, she gives them taunt. Right. Right, and we've got this one, a Shaman card as well with Paladin. At the end of your turn, summon a 1/1 silver hand recruit. Okay. And it's a mech and a totem. So I can go in Menagerie. This could go into silver hand recruit. Let's go in totem shaman. Pure shaman, pure paladin. Very flexible card. It's a 0/4 as well, so if this gets buffed up, get even bigger. Like with Eyesore. Yeah, it's a very good card. Okay, so look here, can go dancing here. Oh, I just opened this. If you saw my amazing pack opening yesterday, where I got like 2 packs in a row, I got 2 legendaries, or 3 packs. I got 2 legendaries and 3 packs. So Cancor was one. I got this as my reward for getting legend. Free epic. Right, so Horn of the Wind Lord, again, Paladin, Shaman card. Wind Fury. Wow. It's not a 2/8, but it's got 3. Whenever your hero attacks a minion, set its stats to 3/3. That's a very, very powerful weapon. But again, it's such a good standalone card, but you really want to only put it in your deck if you've got the support around it. Ugh, yeah, I'm sure we're going to see this somehow. I mean, weapon shaman, if you buff up the... If you look at standard cards at the moment, what can you do to buff up your weapon? There is a card which buffs up your weapon. Where is it? I miss it, here we go. For Qualtelos, give a friendly minion 3 attack, give your hero 2 attack this turn. Only 2 attack. Okay, so you've got the weapon equipped, you play 2 of these. So you've got 4 as well as the weapon. As well as the weapon, you've got 4. So that effectively makes this 7 with Wind Fury for 1 turn. So that can do 14 damage. And Shaman might have some even more cards to buff up weapons. So yeah, this could be good in Shaman. Not so sure in Paladin. Looks a bit expensive. Not convinced this can work. Yeah, as a control tool, very good though. Restore. Oh, that's a funnel kick we saw before. Deafen. Silence a minion. Combo also deal 2 damage to it. Wow. That's a combo minion for priest. That's really good. Any silence is good. You can do to your own minion as well if there's a minion which you can't attack. Or it's got a negative death rattle somehow. I don't know. Yeah, that's a really flexible, powerful card. That's a very good card. Okay, fanboy ready saw. Give a minion rush or lifesteal. Some very complex sort of cards being released now. Make it very hard to assess them in isolation, but I'm sure if you combo them together with other cards, it can be very, very powerful. Dreamboat. Restore 3 health to all other friendly minions. Gain 1/1 for each overheal. I think we've had this card already in the basic set, the basic Festival Legend set. Plagiarizer. Oh, burgle card. Get a copy of the top card of your opponent's deck. It's going to be really even more annoying to get one of your key cards taken by your opponent. Your priest usually ends up doing that. But now Rogue can actually take your deck as opposed to priest generally burgles and makes copies of your opponent's actual deck. Whereas Rogue just steals stuff from the opponent's class or random other classes. But now Rogue can actually interfere with and match the win condition of your opponent, which is a new thing which Rogue has now. Finale and overheal. Give another random friendly minion 2/2. If someone makes that work, and I think an overheal deck can be really powerful. Thank you. But the problem is that Undead Priest is so powerful with all the death rattles. So instead of having death rattle effects, which makes your opponent not want to kill your minions, instead you're having just a regular board buff deck. You definitely have the cast to support this. The question is this better than any other? I think I want to try that. Can you make a board-based priest deck based on overheal and buffing up stuff? Battle Cry, deal 4 damage to this minion. Overheal, deal 5 to random enemy. Again, got more overheal synergies coming. I got a feeling there might be something in the overheal priest now. Alright, let's have a look at Rogue. Rush, combo game, poisonous. Nice little card, but are you really going to run it in your deck? Maybe you're happy to generate it off disc jockey or something like that. Also, it does help you with the Tony Druid. Tony Rogue, where you want to get as many combo cards played while you've got a record scratcher, and then break the record scratcher, and you can do some crazy Tony things with Kel'Thas. So Kel'Thas into Tony into Jailer. Interesting. Interesting to see possibilities there as well. Moving on to Shaman. Give a minion 3/3, deal 1 damage to all other minions. That's more of a warrior card. A decent warrior card though. Looks very good. You can see they're playing an enrage warrior specifically. I don't think Shaman's going to benefit from this, especially the main archetype for Shaman at the moment is Totems. You definitely do not want to deal 1 damage to all other minions because it's probably going to kill off some of your minions. Transform a friendly minion into a copy of this. If you buff this up in hand, you're transforming into not a 4/5 in something bigger than a 4/5. This could work very well with Totem Shaman. Menagerie, Shaman and Menagerie Warrior will benefit from this because they've got hand buff cards. That's a good card. I think it's a very good card, this. Get an extra effect in your hand that changes each turn. I can only imagine that a 3 mana 3/2 with an extra effect is probably going to be worth running. You have to see what the effects are though. Then of course we saw this weapon before in Paladin. What do we have left? A 30 mana minion? What? Taunt lifesteal 15/15, that's pretty good. But the downside, it costs 30, so this card's cost is equal to the amount of cards in your deck. So, yeah, this could be a late game card to save you. So you really want to play this in a control deck, but control decks want to play Rommath. And there's too many classes which can deal with this sort of card. Death Hand, right, let's have a look. Yes, Death Knight easily deal with that. Demon Hunter can't deal with that. Nothing could deal with that in Demon Hunter. Druid, don't think anything deals with it. Okay, so it's good against 2 classes. Probably game winning against 2 classes. Hunter, don't think can deal with it. Doesn't have any poison, maybe. Doesn't have anything which can shrink its health down to 1. Alright. Oh, it does have destroy minion. Yeah. Mage has ways of stalling it with freeze and make your hero only take 1 damage at a time. I mean, you can preempt it with the objection secret, but struggling to think of a way of actually removing it. Okay, Paladin. Definitely, yeah, pure Paladin has a way of making this into a 1/1. Or even just equality. Make it into a 15/1 at least. Priest, yeah, you don't have to speak about that. Obviously, it's got a way of dealing with it. Rogue as well. Shaman does have a way of dealing with it easily. Not easily, but it does have ways of dealing with it. Not if you're playing a board-based Shaman deck. Well, actually, if you're playing Control Shaman, it's got a Hex, I suppose. Could Control Shaman be in the meta now? I don't know. No one's really tested that yet, as far as I know. Warlock, another Warlock, definitely. You've got a few things which can kill it. Got Accusation, Siphon Soul. Interesting. Is it worth putting in the deck? I'm not sure. Maybe. Might be good in Wild, where you want to heal, have a big heal with Quest. With the Quest, what's it called? The Quest Warlock. You have to damage yourself 30 health. So that could definitely stabilize you. Remix Tuning Fork gains an extra effect once in your hand each turn. That's a very good card, especially if you want to be playing the new demon. Costs 2 less for each weapon you've equipped this game. So that fits in well with this. Nice cheap weapon, which is useful. Again, I'm not sure whether Warrior is going to benefit from giving it a minion 1/1 and rush. Not as much as Demon Hunter. Of course, transform a friendly minion to copy this. The thing is, Warrior doesn't really run small minions, so I'm not sure how useful this will be. I'm guessing you could always find a minion. It's only a friendly minion. If you buff this up, then it's got more value, I suppose. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to copy one of your 3/4s or 4/3s and make it into a 4/5. It's not that much value. Alright, interesting. Right, so where are the rest of these cards? Okay. Remixed musicians. So you see this remixed theme happening where you get 1 of 4 effects. Gets extra effect in your hand. Okay, it's a 3/3. I guess we see what its effects are. That looks like a good neutral minion in itself. But again, decks aren't based on good minions anymore. They used to be. You've got a good vanilla minion which has a good effect that would go into a deck, but now decks are very, very fine-tuned to the specific win condition which they're trying to do. Might go into a control deck which just wants good cards. Let's have a look at this. Discard a weapon to draw 3 cards. Drawing 3 cards, a 4 mana 5/4, which draws 3 cards. That is an amazing card. At the cost of discarding a weapon. Weapons aren't usually win condition. In Paladin it is. That completely broken weapon, which it has, which gives a minion deathrattle, gives a minion 1/1 for each minion played. Well, this was equipped. I mean, you don't want to discard that weapon. Any other weapon in the game is probably worth it. That's a very, very good card. That's an amazing card. I think this is one of the best cards in the set, actually. But especially every class has access to a weapon now because of the Festival of Legends expansion. Got a tradable. Wow, it looks very similar to this one, doesn't it? Grim Totem Buzzkill, and this is Speaker Stomper. I guess this is Audiopocalypse cards. So like smashing up the speakers. Buzzkill. Yeah, I didn't actually look at the theme of the cards. They're probably sort of like anti having a nice festival of music sort of cards. Enemy spells cost 2 more next turn. That's a nice disruption card. I like that card. Very good to play against a Death Knight specifically. On turn 4, stops him ruining your board. So this would go in an aggro deck, I think. Similar to the way Posic works. It's just a disruptive card. And if you don't think it's useful, it gives you card draw, which aggro decks want to have as well. Yeah. So the rule is that generally minions are for aggressive, proactive decks want to play minions. Control decks want to play spells. So if you're making enemy spells cost more, then you're stopping control decks working, which means you want to run this in an aggro deck, which is why the other card, which was 2 mana stop them playing minions, which kind of work in a control deck more, because it's stopping the tempo of the opponent, but you're spending 2 mana to do that, and they've probably already got minions on board, I guess. Yeah. So this would go into an aggro deck, and the other card would go into a more control deck, I'm guessing. Okay, interesting. Looks very flashy. Oh, okay, let's read this carefully. Elite Touring Champion Finale. Start a rock duel. So obviously, I guess you have to play this when you've got 5 mana left. Otherwise, it's completely useless. A 5 mana 5/5 is not playable in the current expansion. So this would have to be played just for the finale effect. Start a rock duel. What does that do? Players must spend all of their mana each turn, or else they take 8 or more damage. Or more? What does or more mean? Okay, so you could definitely craft a deck around this, and this is an amazing effect. I want to see what this or more is. Molten Pick of Rock. At the end of turn, explode for 8 damage, or spend all of your mana to give this to the opponent with +2 damage. This is like that card game. What's it called? What's that card game called? I used to play it the whole time. It's a bit like, basically you put the two of clubs down, for example. They have the next opponent, the next person has to draw 2 cards unless they can play a 2, and the next one has to pick up 4. What was this? Not called Snap. Can't remember. Anyway, whatever that card game is. Whereas basically you're upping the stakes. It's very similar to poker, I guess, when you're raising the bid. Okay, at the end of turn 8. So how would you make this work? There is a card which I think I saw. Was it Jean-Bray? I think he mentioned this possibility of there's a card which doesn't let you play mana. Basically, all your cards cost health. I think it's a Warlock card. If you put this in, and then next turn you play a 1-cost card, obviously, because you'll have 6 mana. And you play that 5-cost card plus the other card, making your next opponent, if he's played this, he would avoid a 10, you avoid 12. Then that means your opponent's going to have to play a lot of cards. No, he won't be able to. Your opponent will basically definitely take 14 damage next turn, plus any cards he plays this turn is going to damage him as well. That's a nasty combo. I like this card a lot. This is a beautiful card. It's so much. The potential of this card is so much fun. I love this card. Yeah, if you've got that card, where is it actually? Well, let's look at the last card in the expansion. Another one. Draw 5 cards. Give any spells drawn to your opponent. Okay, so you can either be running rubbish things, or you could be trying to go for a Tony combo, so you don't mind losing spells. You just want to empty out your deck. Or you obviously, the obvious application is play this in a deck which only runs minions. Menagerie decks tend to only play minions. This is a brilliant card. Absolutely fantastic card. The neutral legendaries here are brilliant. I love them. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of potential for these sort of cards. Playing this with a Tony deck, maybe. Or you could play Tony, followed by this. So basically, you get to steal 5 of your opponent's cards. Any of them go to the opponent, which might overload them a bit, possibly. But generally spells are not game breaking. Minions are at the moment. There aren't that many. Okay, you got Symphony of Sins. Is a very powerful spell at the moment. But usually deck win conditions revolve around minions at the moment. Like one man band, jailer, Anubricon, all the different Tony itself, all these different win conditions for Death Knight is based around minions. The control is around spells, but the Blood Death Knight, you want more grain, patchwork. Yeah, wow. This can be very good with Tony, can be very good with minion-based decks. Could be a lot of potential with mill decks, possibly. Wow. Okay, so yeah, some very nice neutral legendaries here. I could definitely see potential here. Right. Again, playing Totem with something with disruption tools. Yeah, imagine playing this with either this or what was it, the Cold Feet, which is what is that? Is that a Druid card as well? I can't tell what color is this. It's a Paladin card, it looks like. Yeah. That can be very nasty finisher. I see a lot of potential, a lot of these cards. Very nice expansion. Nothing's going to break the meta, I think, which is always nice, but it gives a lot more options, which is what a mini set should be. So all in all, I like this. As we said, Death Knight's got cageheads or deathrattle potential, similar to Hunter. I think it's got more deathrattle potential. I can't quite see it, but maybe in a big hunter, those triggering of deathrattles can be really powerful with the Yodeler. Druid, I don't think we see too much changing in Druid. Maybe this card could help set up a bigger Nubrican turn a bit better. But then again, you've got Tall Guide, which can do it for 1 mana anyway. Nothing special except this card, maybe with Lady Thanos. Maybe giving an extra 1 attack. And since it's got rush, maybe whenever you play a rush attack, minion, it could. Maybe giving a minion rush in itself is very powerful. Maybe just give Lady Thanos the rush without the finale. Then play your and plays this with Xenos. Then play a whole load of spells. Then Lady Xenos will attack, and then every time you play a spell, it'll attack and attack and attack. So he plays turn 10, for example, with a 4 and the 3 of Lady Xenos plus this card, which costs 0. So you've got 3 mana worth of spells to keep buffing up your board. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. I can see this easily being a very, very powerful deck now. I might even craft this card finally, because I think the combination of this with Lady Thanos and giving Lady Thanos rush. So basically, Lady Thanos is going to be attacking, but it's going to be buffing in conjunction with this. Amazing. Yeah, I think that's going to be your Demon Hunter OP deck now, I think. Druid we spoke about. Mage. I don't think anything too special was happening with Mage. Nice support cards with this. Of course, this works very well with Rommath because they're 2 spells which didn't start in your hand, and they're fire spells, so they're probably untargeted damage spells, which can be hit or miss because it could end up damaging yourself, like a fireball or something like that, or pyroblast even. Probably hellfire. I'm not sure what fire spells Demon Hunter has in the current expansion. Warlock has. We look at hellfire basically, or immolate. That's going to give you an immolate 1 out of 3 times. For Mage. But again, immolate's always got the problem. It's 3 turns. Most decks can deal with it unless they've got like a key card, which is very expensive. Alright, okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's going to be that game changing. It's a nice support card anyway. And it can work with Rommath. None of the other cards look very exciting. It's just like very bad cards. Even, yeah. Mage basically has nothing. Very powerful location for Paladin. Is it enough to start running location removals? No. Is it good? Yes. Does it replace Matriarch Liadrin? Not convinced, because it does give Divine Shield. Does this help? Control deck. This could be very annoying to play, but I'm not sure you put any. I'm not sure this is good enough to replace anything in pure Paladin at the moment. Again, let's go back to this expansion. Priest, definitely overheal. Priest, definitely a potential there. I really feel that there's a lot of potential for that, and also deathrattle priest as well. Possibly. With the conjunction of the overheal. There's enough overheal cards now. And burgle priest might have some possibilities with this as well. Especially with the I think it's more useful for rogue this. Yeah, rogue's got a very good new burgle card. Otherwise, it's got a silence, which is going to be so frustrating if rogues start running this, because especially against aggro rogue. So you could get an aggro control rogue now with the pirate, plus you got the silence added in, just to get rid of anything which gets in its way. So pirate rogue can be even stronger now. And this is a pirate, but that's a different archetype. And again, this is a nice combo card, which I personally like the idea of a burn your opponent's deck kind of archetype. This just, I don't see this. Maybe once you've played it once, just play it whenever you want to. Yeah. It's got potential, this card, but yeah. I don't see it as game changing. It's a nice support card if you've got weapons. Shaman. Do we see anything interesting in Shaman? This could make Shaman's Totem Shaman much stronger. Also, potential of a Menagerie Shaman, which is also an archetype at the moment. But it's really just token Shaman. With what's it called? With the one-man band. I think token Menagerie Shaman can be even stronger now. So I think token Shaman, Totem Shaman, which is already very strong, it's going to get even stronger. But I think it's so fine-tuned at the moment. To add anything else is probably going to make it weaker unless it's actually a stronger card. This is going to give you a beast. Alright, maybe it fits in. Warlock, I think, has got a lot of potential now. Definitely a lot of potential with the new cards. Summon a copy of a minion. Each one dies after taking damage. I mean, you could actually, I just realized you could do this to your opponent's minion. That's actually, now I understand why this is a strong card. You summon a copy of your opponent's minion. Let's say your opponent's got a very powerful minion, which you want to get rid of. I'm not quite sure if this mirror effect is going to be useful. So if they're a control deck, then they're not going to be threatening you that you want to use their control minion. So yeah, okay, this might have possibilities, but could be if you want to steal their deathrattle, that could be a good way of doing it. So this will work more of a burglary type effect. I'm interested to try this now, actually. Now that I realise that you can summon a copy of your opponent's minion. Okay. I don't think that many deathrattles which Warlock runs, which you want to have a second copy of. Okay. And finally, I think definitely Warrior's going to be extremely strong after the expansion because of this weapon and because of this card. The combination of the two just makes a Menagerie Warrior even stronger than it was already. And this as well. Even though this is a nice Menagerie card, I'm not convinced that it's going to be that strong a Warrior, because Warrior doesn't have that many small cards which you want to upgrade into a 4/5. Okay, and then of course the neutral ones I think get a massive potential for completely new archetypes. This in conjunction with, for example, I did mention the Warlock legendary. Where is it? Yes, I actually have it. So we're definitely going to be trying that. Okay. Right, okay, thanks for watching, everyone. And I think it's going to be an exciting shake-up to the expansion. I think there will be definitely some new archetypes and potential for some very strong new archetypes. I'm looking forward personally to Cagehead, working with Death Knight, and this Warlock. This Warlock is sort of like, what is it? Warlock with the new legendary, with Elite Touring Champion, and other classes have all got their own sort of little things. Menagerie is going to be much stronger now as well. Yeah. Alright, like this expansion and this mini set, and I hope you do as well, and leave any ideas which I might have missed out in the comments, and we'll start crafting. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.